Hello my dear students of second preparatory stage for the English subject. أهلا بكم في حلقة جديدة من حلقات اللغة الإنجليزية لمرحلة الصف الثاني الإعدادي. وطبعا زي ما احنا عارفين حلقتنا النهاردة تحت رعاية وإشراف وزارة التربية والتعليم. Briefly, I will tell you what we talked about and what we introduced in the last sessions. أو هقول لكم باختصار احنا قدمنا إيه في الحلقات اللي فاتت. We learned how to read some articles about many things for like our Egyptian pharaohs and for the jobs in the past and in the modern age. We also talked about how to write an email, how to write a paragraph, using a lot of tenses, using the tense of the present simple, present continuous, past simple, and how to use used to in order to express something you were doing in the past and you stopped or you quit in the present time. سريعا احنا اتكلمنا الحلقات اللي فاتت عن ان احنا ازاي بنكتب الايميل، ازاي ان احنا بنكتب الباراجراف، ازاي ان احنا بنستخدم فيه ازمنه زي البريزنت سمبل والبريزنت كونتينيوس اللي هو المضارع المستمر والمضارع البسيط، وعرفنا how to differentiate between them او عرفنا ازاي نفرق ما بينهم. Also we learned a lot of information about the past simple, all the verbs in the past simple, and specifically used to, how to use the verb used to أو اعتاد أن، حاجة كنا متعودين نعملها in the past في الماضي وبطلناها دلوقتي. That's why we use the verb used to. Okay, so that was briefly everything we introduced for grammar and for reading and for writing. Let me remind you of something we dealt with أو اتفقنا عليه إن احنا حاجة مهمة قوي لازم نقدمها كل حلقة ولازم نسترس on أو لازم إن احنا بنأكد عليها life skills أو المهارات الحياتية. قدمنا the empathy اللي هو مهارة التعاطف، إن احنا how to feel others أو ازاي نتعاطف مع الآخر. اتعلمنا برضو how to be a problem solver أو ازاي إن احنا نبقى effective people، يعني بني آدمين مؤثرين في المجتمع. Maybe now, maybe in the future at work. okay. وتعلمنا برضو صفة ثالثة اللي هي collaboration or cooperation، يعني التعاون، ازاي ان احنا to cooperate together يعني نتعاون مع بعض to reach the best results او عشان نوصل لأفضل النتائج، سواء في المدرسة سواء في الشغل بعدين سواء مع العيلة. Okay, so that was everything about what we introduced in the previous sessions. Today I promise you you will have a very interesting session. هنبقى عندنا النهارده حلقة مميزة جدا لأن احنا هنتكلم فيها عن historical places. هنتكلم عن معالم تاريخية كتيرة جدا وأماكن تاريخية كتيرة مش بس في مصر، also abroad أو في الخارج في دول بره مصر. ف I'm sure it's going to be a very interesting session. So now let's clarify our objectives as we always do, and then we will go into deep details. Okay? So let's go now. Okay, my dear students, now for our objectives, let's have a quick look. And as you see here, our unit is titled with Into the Past. As I told you at the beginning of the episode, now we will have a great knowledge about some historical places. هيبقى عندنا معرفة عن historical places أو أماكن كتيرة جدا مهمة في مصر وبره مصر. So just now I want you to get ready with your books, highlighters and pencils as we usually do. Okay? So here, for the objectives, by the end of the session you will be able to know and understand the following. We will know how to read a review of historical place. review يعني رأي بس مكتوب في صورة report أو مقال. Okay? Also we will read an account of a place or a city which is called جعرش، دي مدينة في الأردن. Also we will read information about a museum and text about ancient objects أو القطع الأثرية اللي كانت موجودة عند القدماء المصريين عندنا زمان. كل ده هنقرأ عليه reports و articles. Then we will also know how to talk about school trips for historical places. Then for speaking also we will know how to speak and describe a historic place. For the language we will focus on a very important tense which is the past continuous. In the previous sessions we talked about past simple, present continuous and present simple. Now we will introduce the past continuous. Okay? Then the writing, we will learn how to write a short description of a place or a report. And for the value, we have a new value which is a responsible behavior. هنعرف throughout the session أو على مدار الحلقة how to be responsible people. ازاي ان احنا نبقى اشخاص مسؤولين عن الاتيتيود او التصرف اللي احنا اللي احنا بنظهره. Okay? So we will focus on this throughout our session. Now, I will show you some pictures and let's get to know some of them. Of course, you may have any information or any knowledge about any of these pictures. So if we have a quick look at these two pictures, and we see here Baalbek, Lebanon, and the Great Castle, أو القلعة. Of course, which one do you know, or which one have you heard about before? Of course, the Great Castle, yes, because it's already existing in Egypt. But here, this one is in Lebanon, so not all of us, of course, know about it. We have other two pictures, the Great Pyramids and the Sphinx, and a place which is called Jemila in Algeria. So we have, of course, we know the Great Pyramids, أو الأهرامات, وأبو الهول, the Sphinx. And this is another city, a new city in Algeria, في الجزائر. It's called Jemila. And for other two pictures, we have Jani, Mali. دي مدينة اسمها جاني في مالي. And Leptis Magna in Libya. دي مدينة في مدينة ليبيا اسمها Leptis Magna. Okay. And we have new vocab words concerning our unit. We have arch, castle, mosque, museum, pyramid, stadium, statue, temple, theater, and ruins. Let me tell you about the meaning of every word. Arch دي بتبقى حاجة في الأثر أو في المبنى الهندسي، الشكل الهندسي للمبنى يعني. arch like حاجة بتبقى like a half bowl أو شكل دائري، نصف دائرة كده في الأشكال الهندسية. Okay? في المباني actually. So this is the arch. castle طبعا يعني قلعة. mosque يعني جامع. museum يعني متحف. pyramid الهرم. stadium الاستاد. statue يعني تمثال. temple المعبد. theater مسرح. and ruins يعني بقايا من حطام، ممكن يبقى حطام مبنى أو حطام حادثة أو سفينة، هي معناها بقايا حطام لشيء معين. This is the ruins. So we have something we call must or mustn't، يعني لازم تعمل ده أو لا يجب إنك تعمل ده. So we use must or mustn't in some statements. So we will refer to some things or rules students must follow and others that students mustn't follow. Okay, so we have some phrases or some sentences here, like arrive at school on time. Of course, students must arrive at school on time. لازم يجوا المدرسة بشكل دائم وفي الوقت المحدد. And we have students must wear the school uniform. Of course, لازم يلتزموا بالزي المدرسي. Also we have respect their teachers and classmates. يعني لازم الستودنتس ان هم يحترموا التيتشرز والكلاسميتس اصدقائهم في الفصول. Let's talk about things students mustn't do او الاشياء التي لا يجب ان نفعلها. Students mustn't talk to their teachers in a loud voice. ما ينفعش ان احنا نكلم التيتشر بصوت عالي. Also annoy their classmates. annoy يعني يزعج. ما ينفعش الطالب او الستودنت ان هو يزعج الطلبة الاخرين في الفصل. Another thing, throw paper on the floor. Must or mustn't? Of course we mustn't. We mustn't throw paper on the floor. We have to keep our school and our classrooms clean and neat. يعني لازم نحافظ على نظافة الفصل والمدرسة بشكل عام. So these were some phrases or some sentences according to what you must do and what you mustn't do. For the language, here, as you see here, what picture is this? Can you guess what is the picture of this place? Yes, we have a lot of books, so we can guess that it is, yes, a library أو المكتبة. Okay, so here you space eat or drink, you space be quiet. So we have here to add must or mustn't. Of course we mustn't. You mustn't eat or drink in the library, and of course you must be quiet in the library. Another picture here, can you guess what is this? It's a school. Okay, it's a school. So here you space listen to the teacher, you space be noisy in class. What you must do and what you mustn't do, let's here display it. You must listen of course to the teachers and you mustn't be noisy أو ما ينفعش نبقى مزعجين inside the class. Of course it's a picture for the pyramids. you space touch the stones, you space put your rubbish into the bin. bin اللي هي سلة المهملات. So of course you mustn't touch the stones and you must put your rubbish in the bin. يعني لازم ان احنا ما ينفعش ان احنا نلمس اي ستونز او اي اثار عموما، ولازم ان احنا نلقي بالقمامة في السلة المخصصة ليها. Okay, so what is this picture for? Can you guess? Definitely, it's very clear. It's for a swimming pool أو لحمام سباحة. Maybe inside some schools or maybe in the clubs or something like that. So, of course, before going into the pool, you must have a shower before you swim, and of course, you mustn't run near the pool or else you will slide أو هتتزحلق. So, for the language here. Okay, we have here Karnak temple أو معبد الكرنك. Okay, and we will read some short extracts أو يعني فقرات قصيرة جدا عن المعبد الكرنك، ولكن هتبقى في صورة ريفيو أو رأي. يعني الريفيوز دي احنا usually we know about if we want to have any opinion about a place we should visit or certain food we can eat or a restaurant we can go to. يعني هي دي reviews اللي هي لما بنقرأ آراء معينة فبنعرف shall we go to such a place or shall we not. Okay, so here it's a review and those stars الstars دي بتقول لنا how much I should visit this place or not. Okay, how much urgent I should visit this place or not. يعني لو البليس ده أو الهوتيل ده عموما واخد ريفيوز عالية فبنلاقي مثلا 4 stars 5 stars 7 stars. لما بيبقى الريفيوز أقل شوية بنلاقي 1 star 2 stars. Okay, so here an amazing day out. This is the subtitle. I visited Abydos last week with my cousins. It's a place in which we can find Karnak temple. There is so much to see. temples, amazing art and ruins in the desert. يعني في المكان ده ممكن نشوف معابد، ممكن نشوف amazing art يعني أشكال من الفنون عموما، and ruins in the desert يعني بقايا حطام طبعا بنعتبرها like monuments أو شكل من أشكال الآثار في الصحاري عموما. It's not usually very interested in history but this place is awesome. يعني طبعا البليس ده is awesome يعني رائع جدا. It's really amazing. So who said this? That review was written by Magid in Cairo. I want you to focus well on the names because later on we will have some questions on who said these reviews. Okay, so Magid was the one who talked about this review. And then get a guide. We have another review here. The ruins at the Karnak temple were amazing and we really enjoyed our visit. It's a big place. ده مكان كبير جدا so you need a few hours to walk around it. المكان واسع جدا وكبير فاحنا محتاجين hours أو ساعات كتيرة to cover it عشان نبقى زورنا كل المناطق فيه. Okay, now it's also a good idea to get a guide to tell you all about the history. يعني هنا ليلى is recommending أو بتقترح إن احنا لازم يبقى معانا guide, tour guide أو مرشد سياحي عشان يقول لنا more information about the place itself, about the temple itself. So who suggested the idea of having a tour guide? Yes, it's Layla. Okay, I want you to focus on the names. Then we have the last review here. Go back to Roman times. أو خلينا نرجع لوقت الرومان. I visited the Roman theater in Alexandria with my cousins last week. أنا زرت المسرح الروماني in Alexandria في اسكندرية with my cousins last week. It's easy to imagine what life in Roman times was like here. There are also statues and the ruins of a temple in the museum there. It was great fun. سمير هنا هو اللي كان بيتكلم عن الرومان ثياتر أو المعبد المسرح الروماني، وقال إن there were a lot of statues يعني كان في تماثيل كتيرة جدا، والruins of a temple يعني حطام لمعبد كان موجود هناك. طبعا احنا بنعتبر إن احنا we consider such ruins as monuments يعني بنعتبر الحطام ده أثر من الآثار التاريخية اللي احنا ممكن نزورها عادي. Okay, so here let's have some questions about these reviews. Which person? We will read some sentences and let's remember who said such sentences. Visited a museum. Who visited a museum? Yes, it was Samir. Thinks you need a few hours to see everything. Who said this? It was Layla. Doesn't usually like learning about all the places. Who doesn't usually like learning? It was Magid. Says you should ask someone to explain things about the place. It was Layla. And thinks the ruins here are really good. Yes, it was Samir. And for number 6, visited Abydos with his family. It was the first review. Yes, it was said by Magid. And that was everything about the reviews we have just read. Now, look at the photos. What do you think people in Jarish? Jarish is a city in Jordan, أو هي مدينة في دولة الأردن. Okay, يرجع تاريخها ل 2000 سنة فاتوا. طيب, we have here some pictures and we will read some short extracts أو هنقرأ فقرات قصيرة جدا, and we will try to match every extract we read to every or to its suitable picture. يعني هنقرأ الextract أو هنقرأ الفقرة وهنحاول نوصلها بالصورة المناسبة ليها. So let's do it now. Read about Jarish and match the photos from A to D to the paragraphs from 1 to 4. So we have the first paragraph here. It's already answered. دايما بيبقى أول حاجة متجاوبة في الكتاب عندكم. The city of Jarish by Azza. Jarish is a Roman city in Jordan. It's more than 2000 years old. Okay? So here المدينة دي يرجع تاريخها ل 2000 سنة فاتوا. When you go there, the first thing you see is the entrance to the city, the arch. Can you see the arch here in picture in picture B? الarch اللي هو, let me now refer to it by my pen. Okay, so here, this is the arch here. Can you see here? This is the arch اللي هو زي half ball أو نصف دائرة كده, half circle. Okay, this is the arch. And let me finish the first paragraph. Now, the first thing you can see there is the entrance to the city. The arch is very tall. You must buy a ticket before you go in. That was, of course, related to picture B. Now, the Romans enjoyed watching sport. Romans, اللي هم الرومان طبعا, enjoyed watching sport. The stadium is for Roman horse races. كانوا متعودين ان هم to hold races أو بيعملوا سباقات by horses. Okay? You can watch races there today. Now, can you guess what is the related picture here? Of course, the picture that has horses. It's for letter D. Now, Jarish has 3 Roman theaters. المدينة بتاعت جارش دي فيها 3 مسارح رومانية. The biggest theater is the South Theater. 5,000 people can sit here. يعني capacity أو الاتساع يعني ممكن يبقى قاعد فيه like 5,000 people. يعني 5,000 مشاهد. Okay? So of course, yes, it's picture A. This picture because it's a large theater. And now, of course, the left one is for letter C. This temple is on a hill. التمبل ده معمول أو اتبنى على hill أو هضبة. There is an amazing view of the city from here. I think it's important to learn about historic places. Historic is a new word أو كلمة جديدة معناها تاريخي. A place which is related to history. يعني مكان يرجع للتاريخ أو في آثار ترجع للتاريخ زمان. Around the world we must protect them so that people can visit in the future too. يعني ان احنا لازم نحافظ على نظافة المكان, وده يرجع لللايف سكيل اللي احنا we have to focus on how to be responsible for your behavior. ان احنا ازاي نبقى مسؤولين عن تصرفاتنا, how to keep a place clean and neat. Okay? Whether for a historical place, whether for the classroom, whether for even your house. يعني لازم نحافظ على نظافة المكان wherever we are. يعني ايا كان احنا موجودين فين. So here, read the email again and answer the questions. What do you think historic means? Of course, as we said, historic means important in history. حاجة تاريخية. How old is the city of Jarish? It was already written. دي طبعا كل دي المعلومات موجودة in the paragraphs we have just read. It was or it's more than 2,000 years old. What did people watch at the stadium? الناس عموما كانوا بيتفرجوا على ايه at that stadium? People enjoyed watching sports like horse races. How many people can sit in the theater? We said, yes, 5,000 people can sit in the theater. What can you see from the temple? The temple on the hill, of course, we can see an amazing view. So all of these details were related to, yes, to the paragraphs we have just read. And here, why does Azza think it's important to protect historic places? ليه عزة المفروض فاهمة ان احنا لازم ان احنا to keep the historic places neat and clean? As the things, it's important to protect historic places so that people can visit in the future. يعني ان احنا لازم نحافظ على نظافة المكان عشان الناس او التورست او السياح يعرفوا يزوروها in the future. Okay. Now here we have some new vocab words. Amazing يعني حاجة رائعة. Ancient يعني حاجة very old قديمة جدا. Awesome يعني رائع. Historic يعني حاجة تاريخية. Interesting حاجة مثلية أو ممتعة. The Great Castle of Muhammad Ali is amazing. I recommend everyone to visit it. It's an ancient place. So here I prepared some sentences for you, and I used those adjectives in it. Okay, so as you see here, I inserted amazing. I inserted also ancient place يعني old place. طبعا انتوا ممكن تغيروا أو you can come up with other sentences أو ممكن انكم تعملوا أي sentences تانية using some of these adjectives. Write a short paragraph or a short description of a place you talked about in exercise 5. Of course that was a sample of mine. دي حاجة أنا حضرتها لكم عن the Great Castle of محمد علي. Okay. ده ازاي نعمل أو ازاي بنكتب description of a place I visited before. So here, last week my family and I went to the Great Castle of محمد علي, قلعة محمد علي in Cairo. It's an amazing place. Of course don't forget to add a full stop by the end of every sentence. يعني لازم نفتكر ان احنا بنهاية كل sentence we have to put the full stop or the exclamation mark. The castle is really ancient يعني old. There we could see a lot of statues. هناك ممكن نشوف تماثيل كتيرة for historic figures. Also there were many portraits يعني كان في لوح كتيرة قوي for محمد علي and his family. Those ancient portraits were drawn years ago. طبعا البورتريهات دي أو اللوح دي اترسمت من سنين كتيرة فاتوا. We saw a lot of old antiques يعني شفنا زي آثار كتيرة أو أنتيكات أو آثار يرجع تاريخها لسنين فاتت. We really enjoyed our time there, so we took a lot of pictures there. ده كان السامبل أو دي كانت الباراجراف اللي أنا كتبته as a sample for you. Of course you can't change any of the details. So here we have some objects أو تعالوا نشوف دلوقتي بعض من المقتنيات اللي كان بيقتنيها الفراعنة زمان. Like here as you see tool. It's a tool, one of the tools, حاجة من الأدوات بتاعتهم. Vase. pot يعني إناء فخار معمول من الفخار. bowl اوكي bowl زي إناء نصف دائري بس يعني فيه وسع شوية اوكي مش مسطح يعني. This is the word bowl okay like the bowl we use for a soup or salad. papyrus ده ورق البردي. mask طبعا of course our ancient pharaohs أو الفراعنة زمان كانوا بيستخدموا masks كتيرة. Maybe most of them were made of gold كمان. figures أو تماثيل على أشكال بقى هما كانوا بيعبدوها. rings أو jewels مجوهرات كانت عندهم برضو. necklace يعني عقد. and coins الكوينز أو العملات اللي كانوا عندهم زمان. Okay so here now asking for information on the telephone. لو احنا عايزين ان احنا ازاي نتعلم ان احنا نحجز حاجة أو in order to know how to reserve something over the phone أو ازاي ان احنا نعمل حجز عن طريق التليفون. These are some questions that we can use if we want to make a reservation. For example, if I am answering your call, so I can tell you how can I help you. طيب ايه فايدة الفريزز دي ان احنا we can use in a dialogue. لو بيجي لنا dialogue أو حوار we can use some information in such dialogue. Okay so how can I help you دي أول حاجة بقولها لحد أنا لسه رد عليه. okay أو even if you enter a shop so the salesman أو لو أنت داخل محل salesman أول حاجة بيقولها لك how can I help you. so this is you can an information a piece of information you can use in a dialogue. hello how can you tell me something please. Can you tell me the price of a ticket to enter the museum of course for example. and we have also certainly يعني sure يعني or of course it's something it's for example 20 pounds. I would like to know what time. I would like to know for example what time the museum opens. يعني أنا عايزة أعرف مثلا الميوزيوم أو المتحف بيفتح الساعة كام. Can I buy a ticket to somewhere أي حاجة. Thank you for your help يعني ده أنا بقوله لما اوكي لما بقدم حاجة أو بقدم خدمة فأنا ردا على ده thank you for your help. Okay I was or we were doing. So here we have to focus well on the past continuous tense أو زمن المضارع المستمر. Last session we talked about the past simple and used to. احنا اتكلمنا بس عن الماضي البسيط، ما اتكلمناش لسه عن الماضي المستمر. Let's now have the difference أو تعالوا نعرف الفرق ما بين past continuous and past simple, but let's do it on the smart board. Okay? So let's do it now. Okay guys, so let me now show you the difference first before I display my slides. أو قبل ما إن أنا أعرض السلايدز خليني أقول لكم سريعا كده the difference between the past continuous and the past simple and how to differentiate between them. So here, if we choose for example this one, I was studying from 8 p.m. till 10 p.m. yesterday. Okay, I will write yesterday. So here, I was studying from 8 p.m. till 10 p.m. Why didn't I say I studied from something to something? Because I have certain timing here. When you have certain timing, so use the past continuous, okay? يعني احنا لما بنعمل mentioning او ان احنا بنركز على time معين انا عملت فيه الاكشن او الحدث ده او الفعل ده, I have to use the past continuous tense. Past continuous tense, as you see here, is formed by was or were plus any ing word. Was or were plus ing word, okay? So we have a lot of keywords that we can use in the past continuous. Like when I mention a certain timing, when I say in the evening yesterday, in the morning yesterday, from time to time. So whenever I mention any timing, okay, and it was done in the past, so I use directly the past continuous tense. I, he, she, it, I use was plus ing verb. But for the plural subjects أو ال subjects أو الأفعال اللي هي الجمع, I use were plus ing verb. Okay? So, of course, I have certain keywords like as also and while. Whenever I have as or while as two keywords, they should be followed أو لازم يجي بعدهم was or were plus ing. Then the short action. يعني دايما بعد as or while I use longer action, and then the second part I use the short action. For example, when I say as I was studying or while I was studying or just as, so I want you to write these keywords. These keywords I use for the past continuous, for the long action. Okay? If we have long action and short action together in one sentence, I use these followed by was or were ing with the longer action. Now I want you to focus on this, but let me now remind you first with the rule itself. Here, as I said, he was reading or they, so he or she or it agree with was, and here this is the rule I have just explained, أو دي rule اللي أنا لسه شرحها دلوقتي. As we were walking into the museum, we saw. The longer action is with the as and past continuous, and the shorter action is with past simple tense. For example, if I have as I was reading my book, as I was reading my book, so I choose was reading because I have as. Then in the second part I add past simple tense, the doorbell rang. Another one, as the teacher was talking or while the teacher was talking, we listened to her carefully. So the longer action, in the longer action we should add was or were plus ing. I was watching a TV program when. After when, guys, I want you to add past simple. My mom asked me for some help. Okay? For number 4, when I started to play, because I have when here, the telephone was ringing. When is followed by the short action. يعني يجي بعدها past simple. As, just as, while are followed by longer actions. يعني was or were plus ing. Past continuous. The doorbell rang just as, yes, plus ing and was or were. I was having my meal. When I returned home yesterday, because I have went here, so I must add past continuous. My father was working. As I was doing my homework, as is followed by past continuous, I felt sleepy. The other part should be put in the past simple. And that was a quick look and everything about the difference between past simple and past continuous. Again, if you have short action and long action, in the short action we add past simple, in the longer action we add past continuous, was or were plus ing form. Thank you guys for watching this episode. أتمنى إن احنا بعد كده إن احنا we can have more interesting videos and more interesting presentations. I do thank you again and see you next time. Stay safe and bye.